I am not happy. I am pissed. I'm disgusted. I'm horrified. I feel sick. Sick that I need to be taken to the hospital. I mentioned many times on this channel that I'm single and that I've never been in a relationship. Well, recently I have, and let me tell you, it's the most it sucks. Like I'm currently in a toxic relationship right now. And you're probably wondering who it is. Who did I put my heart into that's stabbing me in the back with pain and suffering? Like, who possibly be this bad that it's making me depressed? Well, I'll tell you who that is. That is the New York Rangers. Like, I have a toxic relationship with the New York Rangers. Like, I've been a fan of this team since 2012. Like the first game I ever saw was the beginning of the playoffs, Game 1 against the Ottawa Senators. Like, there was a deep playoff run as we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's like I've been a fan ever since I've been a Rangers fan. It's like, watch my channel. One of the big things of this channel is Rangers hockey. It's like I made so many videos about the Rangers. I made so many reacting to this team. Like, I've been through good moments, such as 2012, and then Rangers winning the President's Trophy in 2015. Derek Stepan's Game 7 overtime winner. And of course, 2014. Enough said. And then I dealt with the bad moments, such as getting destroyed by the Penguins in 2016, then 2021. And then the David Quinn era, back in the infamous rebuilds where we traded our best players for virtually nothing. But I've been through the thick of it all. But this is a different story. Like, you know that last year the Rangers were absolute gods. Like, everybody was playing well, it was managed well, and we won the President's Trophy for the best franchise record of 55 wins. Like, the Rangers were definitely favorites to win the cup. And it's like, we wiped the floor with the Washington Capitals easily. So it would have been more fitting if it was the Detroit Red Wings, since they deserve to face us over the Capitals. And then second round, we faced the Hurricanes. Like, we won the first 3 games, but it went to 6 games, and then Kreider came back from a 3-1 deficit, a 3-0 from a 3-1 deficit with a hat trick to send us to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then we made it to the Conference Finals, and we just so happened to face the Florida Panthers. Like, you've seen me reacting to the playoffs. Like, 2022, I was unhappy, I was angry, because the competitiveness was there for the Rangers. Like, we dominated against the Lightning, and then we took a nap and made stupid decisions, and we lost. Then 2023, it's like we dominated against the Devils. Like, we got 10 goals in the first 2 games. Then Akira Schmidt came along, but instead of taking advantage of this, we died. Like Like we lost, and then game 5 we died. We got hope in game 6, and then we go back to death in game 7. I was so angry. Like I actually made a video of my salty compilation with that series, and it's really bad memories. It's the most angriest I've ever been. Like, I haven't been this angry since, again, the David Quinn era and the rebuilding era. But with 2024, I was just disappointed. Like, we just lost. Like, the Florida Panthers were a much better team. They did a good job of shutting us down. And the thing is, even though we lost the series, the games were always close, always decided by one goal. Like, even in the dying minutes, when it looked like it was all over, we score in the last minute to make it close. Like we did not die there. Like, we fought right to the very end. And it was unfortunate. It's like we had a best chance to win it, but we just so happened to face the Florida Panthers, who would be the ones to win the cup. But I could definitely say that we were like the best team the Panthers have faced in the playoffs. But so the off season came along, and we needed to make moves. We needed more depth. We needed a top 6 player and defense and everything. So it's like Kako got extended, which is good. But then we needed more because we needed to extend Braden Schneider and Ryan Lindgren. And then a year after, we needed to extend Shesterkin, Lafreniere, Kako, and several more. So we ended up buying out Barclay. We ended up putting Barclay Goodrow, a fan favorite, who was, despite being grossly overpaid, we put him on waivers. And knowing his talent, especially with what he did in the playoffs in 2024, it was a matter of time before someone picked him up, and that was his old team, the San Jose Sharks. So we cleared like $3 million, which is good. So Schneider got extended. Yes, Lindgren gets extended. Yes. And then our fourth line center was Sam Carrick. Like, it was supposed to be Johnny Brzezinski's role, but we decided to give it to Sam Carrick for 3 years. I mean, luckily it's a $1 million deal, but still, Sam Carrick. You really think Sam Carrick is gonna help out? But then the biggest move we made there is we solved the top 6. We end up getting Riley Smith in a trade. It's like we got everyone together, we got all the pieces. So I'm like, oh boy, this year should be it. This should be the year where we make it to the finals. This should be the year where we win the cup. Well, things pretty much started off well. It's like in October we were like 6-2-1 to start. So, I mean, it's like we were on the top of the league. We were scoring and we dominated. It's like goalies were stopping everything. It was good. And then Donald Trump happened. He somehow won the election. Stupidly. And somehow, ever since that, the Rangers started to suck. I made a post about this on YouTube and also Facebook, but before Trump won the election, it's like We had an 8-2-1 record. We scored 44 goals. We allowed 24 goals. We had 340 shots on goal. We allowed 363 shots. We had no losing streaks. We were top 3 in the Metro Division. Like, we were first in the beginning, but then we slightly dropped due to the Devils and Hurricanes. But all the losses that we had were against great teams, and the loss against Utah shouldn't have happened since it was done by terrible officiating. But then after Trump won the election, we had a 4-7-0 record. We scored 27 goals. We allowed 38 goals. We had 313 shots on goal. We allowed 363 shots, which seems like the same as before, but we had 3 of 4 games where we allowed 40 plus shots. Twice having 20 in the first period. So it's like, and then we had a 5-game losing streak. We lost to Oilers goaltending. We lost to Joe Hofer, and we lost to Spencer Martin, and we were in the first wild card, about to be out of a playoff spot. Thank God we won the final game of November with the late game winning goal by Capo Caco, which ended November with a 7-7-0 record. .500, but it was still a drop-off. Like, losing to Oilers goaltending is really bad. Like, so bad that before that game, Jonathan Quick had a save percentage of .970, which is really good. But then after that game, his save percentage went down to .940. And knowing that win in the end, it's like, so we had a rough month, but we should get better. Like, Kreider and Hedo are coming back. It should be fine. But now we're at the end of December, and it's even worse. Like, we only have 3 wins in December. 3 wins. 3 wins, no fights, no effort. We lost to Joe Hofer again, and since it's the Blues, it means we got swept by Joe Hofer. We lost to the Senators. We lost to the Blackhawks. We got destroyed by the Canes, who are a really good team, but we pretty much died there. And we got swept by the Nashville Predators. The Predators. Like, that game, a game that I purposely missed because I knew they were going to lose. Like, I chose bowling with my friends over the Rangers game against the Predators. And it was the right move. And now, as I'm recording this, the Rangers are dead last in the Metro Division. Dead last. It's like we sucked ever since Trump won the election. But the worst part about this is that you can't even blame Trump for this. Like, there were worse problems with the Rangers. Like, as I said, in October, we dominated. Like, we were scoring, we were saving, we were fight. But now recently, we barely shoot. We're leaving goalies out to die, and we're barely scoring goals, and defense is bad. It's like Jacob Trouba and Keandre Miller were massive liabilities on defense. It's like they made too many turnovers, and it seems And it seems that every time they're on the ice, we get scored on. And Ryan Lindgren hasn't been the same after getting injured and is too struggling. The first line, which consists of Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere, which was supposed to be one of the best lines in the league, got pointless and got slowed down. And Mika goddamn Zibanejad. Zibanejad was one of the best centermen in the league, one of the best in defense and scoring. But now, Zibanejad is a massive liability. It's like he was invisible on the ice and is beginning on the slow, steady decline. It's like he has 6 goals right now, and he's projected, from what I last saw, to get 16 goals. And if that wasn't bad enough, as I'm recording this, Zibanejad is a negative 21. Negative. Seems like every time he's on the ice, on 5-on-5, we get scored on. There's no fight, no effort. And things were, and the decisions made were stupid. It's like Filipino was injured for the 1,000th time, and he desperately needed a centerman. So what did they do? Put Kaapo Kakko as a centerman. A guy who was on the wane to decide to put him in center. Because Johnny Brodzinski apparently doesn't exist. Brodzinski had the best season of his career last year, and now despite signing him for 2 years, despite his open spot, it's like we're leaving him out. It's like we're barely using him. I mean, the off season was still good. I mean, Smith has been okay. He has been good. It's not great, but he's decent. And Sam Carrick isn't doing much, but it was not expected. But he's been he's been better than Barclay Goodrow. I mean, this team just sucks. To go from a President's Trophy winning team to this. I mean, it's like our defense was so bad that we had to trade Jacob Trouba to the Ducks for Earl Vakanainen and a 4th-round pick. In case you ask how Trouba is doing, he's barely doing much there. But that trade had to be done. That trade was supposed to be for salary cap issues. Well, and what you know, after Trouba got traded, we finally give Igor a massive extension worth $11.5 million per year for 8 years. He is now the highest paid goaltender in history. So we got that done. So all we needed to do was to extend Kakko, extend Cooley, extend Jones, and then we're good. And for Trouba gone, we had Victor Mancini, who was the biggest surprise of the preseason, become a regular. Man, it was well deserved, and Mancini did great. Then he had one terrible game against the Canes, and the Rangers he sucks. Back to the minors to you. And now they're letting Vakanainen get several games. It was supposed to be a minor deal. It's like this team just sucks. We only have 3 players playing. We only have 3 players of excellence. Everyone else either sucks or they're nowhere near the players they need to be to make this team great. Igor Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick is the best goalie tandem in the league. and now the team is leaving them out to die, forcing them to win games, to carry this team, because the team thinks that the game is won based on the most saves, not the most goals. Like, the best player on the ice for the team is Will Cuylle. Definitely the biggest surprise. Like, he's playing out of his mind. Like, and the best player on defense is the third defense pairing of Zach Jones and Braden Schneider. I mean, at least Fox is still Fox, but he only has one goal so far. Like, and if that wasn't bad enough, it's much worse. Like, remember the game? Remember the Predators game? The game before that. And like I said, Zibanejad sucks right now. It's like, my God, Zibanejad sucks right now. He's like a negative 15 and he's barely doing much. What can we do? I know. Let's make Kaapo Kakko a healthy scratch. It's like, we have a negative 15 that's not doing well, and so let's scratch a guy that's a plus 10. That's nowhere near the problem with this team. It's like Kakko's one of the bright spots. I mean, like, there are many times in his career that Kakko got scratched for stupid reasons. Like Game 6 against the Lightning, where he got scratched for Dryden Hunt in an elimination game. But all those other times, Kakko didn't say much about this. But for this one, he's not letting that slide. Of course Kakko was pissed off about this. And rightfully so. Like, he said that he's not on the ice too much when his team gets scored on. And it's true. Again, a plus 10. Said he's not one of the worst players on the team, which is correct. And he said it's so easy to pick on the young guy. So he pretty much says that. And what did the Rangers do? They give Kakko less ice time against the Predators. And then they had the audacity to trade him. It's like, you got the Trump's hush money case, you got the Daniel Penny trial, you got Luigi killing a CEO, which many people love for some reason, and then the scandals in the mayor's cabinet, and many more problems in New York. But these are not the biggest scandals in New York this year. This trade is the biggest scandal in New York. Kaapo Kakko, a promising star, a guy who was a +9, one of the bright spots of the team, was traded. He was traded to the Seattle Kraken. An era was over, an era is wasted. Like, I know you needed to make moves, but you're trading the wrong guy. You should have traded Ryan Lindgren, Keandre Miller, or Mika Zibanejad. It's like, what in the hell were they thinking? Why trade one of our bright spots? You should be trading massive liabilities. Like, and to make matters, and let's make it worse. Let's make it worse. Let's trade him for Will Borgen, a draft pick from the Sabres that spent most of the time at the Kraken, who is a third-pairing defenseman. Like, seriously, Will Borgen, a third-pairing defenseman, a defender who only has a goal and an assist this year, a defender who now is a -15 this season. You traded a guy that's +9 for a guy who is a -15? And then we only got a 3rd and a 6th round pick for him? Like, you couldn't even get us a first or even a second round pick in return. Like, that is pathetic. Like, if you wanted Will Borgen, give the Kraken Miller or Lindgren, not Kaapo Kakko. Like, this trade will ever go down as the worst trade in Rangers history. Like, name a worse trade. Name a worse trade. What about the McDonough and Miller trade? Yeah, that sucks, but we got some decent players out of it. And even if we didn't, we gave them away for Vladimir Tarasenko and Patrick Kane. What about the Buchnevich and Blade trade? Yeah, that trade still sucks, but we traded a second round pick from it for Andrew Kopp, and then trade Sammy Blais for, once again, Vladimir Tarasenko. At least for those trades, we get something out of those trades. Even if we're not the winners, we still got something out of it. This, unless the third or sixth round pick become massive steals, Seattle have clearly won this trade. Like, this is even worse than the Barclay Goodrow signing. Like, all those things I mentioned, at least we get something, but this, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The organization is calling Kakko and bust, and that he means nothing to the team. Like, I get getting rid of Barclay Goodrow and Jacob Trouba, but getting rid of Kakko is a bridge too far. Like, everyone needs to be fired. It's like Seattle's already winning this trade. Like, so far, Kakko has got a goal, while Will Borgen, every time he's on the ice, he gets scored on. Like, and Seattle won this trade since day one, because, like I mentioned, Kakko was a +9 when we traded him. He currently leads the Kraken in plus-minus. Yeah, he did not even do a single thing for the Kraken, yet he's already doing things. Like, and knowing it's Kakko, and knowing he will get the ice time and play he deserves, he is going to play like a god with Seattle. Like, I can't wait for that to happen. I can't wait for the Kraken to play like gods and make the playoffs. I can't wait for them to make a deep playoff run. I can't wait for the Seattle Kraken to win the Stanley Cup. And even if he doesn't win the Conn Smythe, I know Kakko will be a key contributor. Like, way to go, Jory! Way to fucking go! Good job! Congratulations, you fucked this trade! And then, of course, K'Andre Miller just came back from an injury. And of course, we need to get rid of players. Someone needs to go to put Miller in. So who do the Rangers scratch? Zach Jones. Zach Jones. Zach Jones, who is nowhere near the problem. It's like, he's good defensively and does so much for the team, and you told him to hit the damn pines. And let's make it worse. Let's replace him with Urho Vakanainen, a first-round pick who is nowhere near his ability due to play-for injuries. Guy who was supposed to be a minor deal. Like, he wasn't supposed to be a regular. We only got him in the trade for cap reasons, and to put Victor Mancini in. It's like, it makes no goddamn sense. Like, the Kakko, it's like, I don't know what's the worst. It's like, I don't know what is worse. The betrayal of Kaapo Kakko or Donald Trump firing John Kelly for telling the truth. I mean, both guys got the boot for telling the truth after all. It's like, getting rid of Trouba, getting rid of Jacob Trouba was the beginning. More heads needs to be chopped off. Like, it's like Miller needs to go, Lindgren needs to go, Zibanejad needs to go. And I know it's going to be tough because he has a no movement clause. But he's become a massive liability and he needs to go. If you have to bench him and not have him play hockey until he accepts a move, so be it. I don't want to say this, but I have no choice. Peter Laviolette needs to be fired. So he made stupid decisions this time around. It's we've been given less ice time to players that actually put in the best efforts and work hard and does much for the team, and we're giving it to players that are just here with no effort and hard work. It's like Zibanejad is a massive liability on his team. He's bad in offensively, he's bad defensively, and everything. It's like he's even bad on the power play. So why the fuck is that when he fucks ass, we get more time? It's like, why hasn't he been a healthy scratched? It's like he should be getting a healthy scratch. Like, we scratched Kakko, we scratched Kreider. Why we're not scratching Zibanejad? It's like, why is he giving him too much ice time? Like, he already lost the number one spot to Trocheck. He's being outplayed by Chytil. It's like, why is Will Cuylle and Filip Chytil on the third line? They should be on the second line. Like, the line of Chytil, Kakko, and Cuylle were the best line for the Rangers. And now we just separated them. They should be getting more ice time than Zibanejad and Kreider. For Kreider, you can't even blame him for his lack of play due to back spasms. And he has 10 goals. It's like, what? And why do you favor Earl Vakanainen over Zach Jones? Like, Zach Jones has been good at defense, and now you're making him the new whipping boy of the team. Like, it's like, I swear to God, if the team forces Zach Jones to leave, I'm gonna be pissed. And what if it stops, or what if it not stop there? Who would they be a whipping boy next? Will Cuylle? Like, it's only a matter of time before Zach Jones gets pushed away for a 7th-round pick, and Will Cuylle gets traded at the deadline for future considerations. It's like, and why did, and the Lightning game, like, we put Lafreniere instead of Zibanejad on the first power play unit. That's good. That should have been done a month ago! And what was his response asking about Kakko being scratched? That they needed fresh legs. Really? Fresh legs? Kakko with fresh legs! It's a better job you should have scratched, not Kakko! It's like he's responsible for forcing Kakko to leave. It's like Kakko complained about the bench and he gets forced out of New York. Like, Chris Drury needs to be traded as well. I mean, like, if we had won the Cup in 2024, Chris Drury would be a legend in New York, on the same level as Neil Smith. Now we see his flaws. Now we see the stupid moves down to the ground. It's like he made stupid trades and everything, and the moves that he made that made sense backfired in our face. Like the Buchnevich trade, the Goodrow sign-in, the Kakko trade. What about the moves? And what about the moves that made sense? I mean, it's like let's talk back about the Goodrow and Trouba move. Like Goodrow being put on waivers made sense, but but you look back and it's worse. Like he was picked up by the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks were part of Gaudreau's no trade list. Like, he didn't want to go there, but we decided to anyways. And Gaudreau didn't even know about this move until Twitter. He didn't know about this move until it was far too late. And now they're talking about the Trouba trade. Trading him makes sense since it was a massive liability, since we needed cap space to extend Igor Shesterkin. But then we found out that we did mention, but back in the offseason, he was rumored to be traded to the Detroit Red Wings. But it was part of the no trade list and part of the no movement clause, so it was dead. And then people make drama saying that he only did it because of his wife, because she has a career in New York. And then people blame his wife for they're blaming her like she's the reason why Trouba's still here, which is just bullshit. And then and then he admitted after the trade that he was forced to go. It's like they made the deal with, like he shut down the trade with Columbus, then for Anaheim. The management apparently said to him that if he doesn't accept the trade to Anaheim, they'll put him on waivers. It's like he made it that he was forced between choosing his career or his family. Like he chose his family, of course. So I mean, like he admitted that after the move with Detroit, he gave up on the team. Like he felt like he was in a place where he was not wanted. And it's stupid to do this to our captain. So it makes it a list of another captain who was traded. And then the Kakko trade. Enough said. Like Chris Drury needs to go. I mean, like, it just pisses me off on how far we have fallen. Like, we are an AHL team right now. I mean, like, it's like getting rid of Trouba isn't enough. Getting rid of Miller won't be enough. Getting rid of Lindgren won't be enough. Getting rid of Zibanejad won't be enough. Getting rid of Lafayette and Drury are the only ways to do that. Like, Chris Kreider needs to be on the third line with Hito, needs to be on the third line so that Cooley and Hito play the top six. Like, we need to either trade or let them walk away in free agency, Lindgren and Miller. Like, I know it sucks for me to say this, but Kreider and Zibanejad are in the early 30s. Like, certain aspects of the play won't age with grace. Like, some of them already are and will get worse with time. Like, at least for Kreider, he can come back. He's only struggling due to back spasms since training camp, and he has 10 goals, and his speed and net front presence are an asset. But Zibanejad, he was a 40-goal scorer years ago, and if it wasn't for COVID, he could have easily got 50. But now he's shooting less and would rather pass than score. Like, Joe Micheletti even mentioned in practice before the Lightning game that he keeps missing the net. Too much. Like, it would suck to see him go. That's true, and I'll forever cherish the impact on the team. But loyalty is what led to this downward spiral. And if you don't make these moves sooner, it will be worse. Like, with all the moves we have made, we were supposed to be better. It's like with the money we spend and the players we have, not being first in the league the division, and the conference should be underachieving. Not dead last in the Metro Division. It's like, we can't score, we can't defend, we can't shoot. Like, we can't even go to the net. It's like, what the fuck is the fight? Where the fuck is the heart? What the fuck is the fire? Where is the passion? Where's the tenacity? Like, this is a Stanley Cup contender. Really? It's like, we cannot deny the truth any longer. The cup winner was slammed shut on this team. This is not, as accomplished as they were, this is not their year. Like, they're not winning the cup with this core. We are not winning the cup with, we're not winning the cup with lack of offense. We're not winning the cup with lack of defense. We are not winning the cup with this coach. And we're certainly not winning the cup with a GM that does not know how to manage this team. It's like, do you understand that there's a higher probability of Trump doing something good in this world than it is for the Rangers to do anything? Like, I don't know what pissed me off more. This team or the fact that Trump is president again. It's like, I can have massive diarrhea filled with gonorrhea. I can take a massive shit and then have blood pouring over with guts and bones coming out. Like, and like, I can look at that and I can look at this team and it's the same thing. But you know what? I'd rather spend a whole day dealing with that in pain than to watch this shitty team. It's like, we haven't been this bad since David Quinn. Like, hell, we're even worse than David Quinn. This is the worst Rangers team I've ever seen in my life. Like, name a worse Rangers team. Name a worse one. You can't. Because with those, we sucked, but the passion was there. We tried. But here, it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. No fight, no effort, no passion. Just, like, it's like, I could play much better hockey than this team have. And their power play, we were the best in the league. But now, it went down. It's like they're focused on passing, they're focused on making the flashy of plays, then they'll score. It's like, make it fucking work. Make it passes, thousands of times won't go in the goddamn net. Like, so it's like Chris Drury is seriously worried of, is more focused on big splashes and stuff than the entire organization not knowing how to teach the team how to play hockey. It's like, I'm really disgusted and ashamed to be a Rangers fan right now. Like, do I really want to watch the rest of the season? Like, we're going to face Florida to end 2024, but why have hope there? It's like, we're just going to lose to the Panthers. We're going to end 2024 on a 4-game losing streak. And what do I have hope for 2025 there? Like, what can I say about 2025 there? It's like, January's going to come along and we're going to have 0 wins. February's going to come along and we're not going to score goals. March is gonna come. March is gonna come, and then we don't bother to shoot. We have 0 shots on goal. Then April comes along, and we'll make 0 saves because the goalies have ended the season early because they're sick of this shit. It's like we're literally the biggest joke in the NHL. It's like we've turned into the Leafs. I mean, it's like back then when you talk about a team, when you say a team does the most embarrassing thing in the world and say it's the Leafs, everybody will automatically believe it. But now it's not the Leafs. It's the Rangers that's gonna say that. And seriously, how are they gonna lose for the rest of the season? Like, are they gonna get a 10-0 lead and then blow it? Is the Rangers going to be the next team that loses to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for this team on home ice? It's like, and they're gonna make it's gonna be a matter of time before they force Zach Jones and Will Cuylle out of the organization. It's like they're gonna get rid of them and use the cap space to extend Jimmy VZ, Ryan Lindgren, and Keandre Miller long term, and also Urho Vakanainen. Like seriously, you got rid of Goodrow and Trouba for this. Like, this is what you gotta understand. It's like, we don't expect you to be great, we expect you to be watchable. Like, do you know how low our expectations are right now? It's like, we don't expect you to win the cup. We expect you to be a better team than the Blue Jackets, Blackhawks, Predators, and Sharks combined. Like, I get there are more important things in life than hockey, but you're supposed to be our biggest distraction from those. But instead, all we do is pay you money or turn on the TV to put us in a bad mood every game. This team is done. They're not winning the cup. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. So why not just tank now and focus on winning the draft lottery? Because this team sucks. This team is pathetic. Fucking pathetic. And that's the worst part. Is that we have a half a season left. God, I hate this team.